Identifying Figures of Speech by Clyde Pilkington from the Bible Student's Notebook, issue 1109. Whenever possible, we always take the scriptures literally. Figures of speech are relatively easy to identify, since by their nature they are not intended to be taken literally. Let's illustrate. If someone said to you that they were hungry as a bear, you would not think that they were a bear. Rather, you would understand this to be an idiom, meaning that they were extremely hungry, like a bear, with a massive appetite. This statement is a simile, used to emphasize a strong sense of hunger. Thus, in this example, we can see that one way to identify a figure of speech is the usage of the words like and as. If something is like or as something else, then we know that it is an illustration. When one thing is like or as another, they are clearly not the exact same thing, but a figure used to illustrate a point of consideration. For example, in 1 Peter, when we are told that the adversary is walking about as a roaring lion, we know that he is not a literal lion. We know this by the word as. Likewise, in Revelation, when we are told concerning the four beasts that the first beast was like a lion, and the second beast like a calf, and the third beast had a face as a man, and the fourth beast was like a flying eagle, we know that these four beasts were not a literal lion, calf, man, and eagle, but like or as them in appearance. So, also, the phrase saved yet as through fire, found in 1 Corinthians, is clearly a figure, demonstrated by the insertion of the word as. Context can also be a means of identifying figures of speech. For instance, the lake of fire and the fire and brimstone of the book of Revelation are figures of speech, because death and the unseen are said to be cast into the lake of fire. Both death and the unseen are intangible and could not physically be cast anywhere. To further confirm the figure, the lake of fire is clearly identified as the second death. So, the first death is cast into the second. Thus, this speaks symbolically of the death of death. And Paul plainly taught that the only way to destroy death is by resurrection. Additionally, brimstone is the Greek word theion, which means divine, and accordingly it is used to identify the source or character of the fire. Fire and brimstone is a divine fire. Thus, the lake of fire is a blazing symbology of the transition from death to life, from the unseen to realization. It is the figurative manifestation of the love of God, of His purifying, all-consuming love. For our God is also a consuming fire. Thanks for watching. To learn more, go to studyshelf.com.